Peace and blessings. Peace and many blessings. I am your humble correspondent, YPG Betancourt, and this is the War Report. Gentlemen, we are on the front lines. I am the lighthouse that guides you through these dark and murky waters. What I wanted to talk about today was how validation is a rabbit hole. A rabbit hole that never ends. Now, when I think of validation, I also think of acceptance. And I wanted to tell you a story about a guy, we'll just call him Missouri for safety purposes, and I ain't trying to get sued. But you know, this guy Missouri was a cool cat. He was a good kid. But he wanted to be liked by everybody. He wanted to be, everybody's friend, and it led him to really do some evaluate, man. He had to reevaluate his life. We'll get to that later though. So I met him through a mutual friend. And the guy who I met him through, hey, it's birds of a feather fly together, man. Cause my man, the dude who I met him through, you see what I'm saying, was a nut too. But he was a lovable nut. And so I meet Missouri, and instantly I was like, yeah, this dude is all over the place. He doing way too much. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, he was a good kid. He had a good heart. And one day in particular, man, we getting loaded. I had the slab sitting on 23s. We was in the old school cruising. And he said, hey, let's go over this spot real quick. So I said, all right, cool. And I probably say this is the second time I chilled with him. And so this girl opens the door, and it was like lights, camera, action. He just turned into a completely different person. He was bouncing off the walls, serenading and dancing for her. I was just trying to figure out, like, what's going on here? Like, I'm looking at my partner. I was like, what's up with your mans? And he was like, yeah, that's just how Missouri get down. Man, look, the level of caping and Slim. I can't tell you how many times he told this girl she was beautiful. He was all kissing her hand and spinning her around. I said, oh, hell no, man, you doing way too much. So I'm just listening to them talk, and it just so happens that he only knew her for 3 months. Out of those 3 months, he proposed to her, bought her a Dodge Magnum. Them Jones was nice back in the day, you see what I'm saying? That's probably like the only station wagon I could still see myself driving. You see what I'm saying? He bought her an engagement ring, a nice-ass joint, too. So an engagement ring, a Dodge Magnum, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he was like trying to get her pregnant or whatever, and I was like, Slim, you doing way too much. You doing way too much. No offense to her, because I ain't really know her like that. I ain't even know my man like that, but in any case, I don't like to see dudes, you see what I'm saying, put themselves in unwinnable situations. And I just had this feeling that just couldn't go away. Like something about the situation just didn't sit right with me. So this is, like I said, this is the first time we went over there. So, he's calling her. He's gonna surprise her with this what's the name of it? Oh, a shopping spree. He was gonna take her on like a $5,000 shopping spree. You see what I'm saying? Like spend $5,000 on her for nothing. And I was like, Slim, what's wrong with you? You spending $5 on this bitch for what? Because she fucking you better than you ever been fucked before? Because she sucking you better than you ever been sucked before? The booty was stupid dumb fat. Stupid dumb. You see what I'm saying? This is back when the girls was You know, they was wearing them little the fur on the boots because of that damn Flow Rider song. But he was just doing entirely like look, in 3 months. 3 months, she popped it on him. She popped it on him, right? She popped it on him. He bought her a car, a engagement ring. You see what I'm saying? And by all accounts, she was the love of this dude's life. He ain't never, man, she whipped it on him. I'm not mad at her, you know, performing sorcery. I'm just like, look, Slim, you need to get your shit together. Again, I just had this real bad feeling. So we go over the house again. Guess who it is? Her husband. And she all, you know, crying or whatever the case may be. So I guess she's about to leave her husband and get with my man Missouri. But this is where it gets worse. I know the dude. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know her real husband. This dude is no joke. You see what I'm saying? I had deployed with him 3 years earlier. And I was like, hey, look. I put my man Missouri to the side. I was like, look, I'm going to go ahead and nip this joint in the bud right now. We'll call it even. You see what I'm saying? He's saying because, you know, me and him, you know each other. He'll let you slide. Let's go ahead and leave it at that, Slim. Let's go ahead and shake the spot. I pulled him. He gave me the head nod. That was that. But my man Missouri, you see what I'm saying? He felt some type of, you know, he had a battery in his back. Like he had to go and save this girl. You know, and so he goes back. He goes back. He calls himself get in the car, right? He calls himself get in the car and ends up getting his ass whooped. He was knocking on death's door. They jumped him. They pissed on him. You see what I'm saying? Pistol whipped him. They beat this man to within an inch of his life. But I told him not to go back under any circumstances. And what does he do? Come to find out, she called him and was talking about how she needed some rescuing. So this motherfucker put a cape on and tried to fly over there. Yeah, but he left in a stretcher. And Ted Matrix, you know, I pray that I'm doing your request justice, because this is only the tip of the iceberg. So as a result of my man, you know, as a result of them punishing my man, what they didn't know was that his parents were top brass in the military. He had two parents. His mother and his father were both colonels in the United States Army. So once they found out what happened, they found out what unit old boy was in. His ass was in the brig. His ass was in the brig, man, doing hard time, making big rocks to little rocks. Because he made an emotional ass decision. I'm not jeopardizing my career over no female. And he had a promising career too. You see what I'm saying? He had a real promising career. If I'm not mistaken, I think he just made his E6. He was about to be an E7. For all of those that aren't familiar with the military, that's high up there. So the point of me saying what I'm saying is, right, you had two emotionally led, irrational ass men. My man Missouri, for even falling for the tricks old girl was playing. That's him. He put himself in the trick bag. And her husband for even jeopardizing his career. Like Slim, he had to sit down. Man, if I had to guess, he had to sit down for at least 7 years. At least 7 years. Like that. Career over with. I don't necessarily know what happened to her. I couldn't tell you, but it was just a fact, because, you know, this is another story with me and her husband, because one day, because I was about to have to sit down too, and I seen him at the brig, and me and him just looked at each other, and we just gave each other the head nod and kept it pushing. But the point is that, you know, like I said, he ended up throwing his career down the drain for a woman that didn't give a fuck about him. You see what I'm saying? Didn't give a fuck about him. He jeopardized his career for her. So the moral of the story is, you know, stop trying to be like. I don't want to be like. I will be respected. That's the difference. You see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be everybody's friend. I treat everybody with the same respect. I see him, I say what's up. Other than that, I keep it pushing. Not to mention, you see what I'm saying? I just, the way I operate is totally different now. Because the minute I see somebody doing something that's unmanly, illogical, or and it's not pragmatic, I gotta move around, man, because I don't operate like that. You see what I'm saying? My old lady, she kind of get mad at how I move around, but I'm like, look, a man can't operate based off of emotion. She'll never understand. Oh, man, like I said, one decision changed both of these dudes' lives. I told him stop fucking with old girl. And her husband threw away his whole, like his life is ruined. He is a felon. He is a felon. Caught a felony over a female. Ain't no pussy in the world that bomb when I'm throwing my life away. You can have it. You can have it. But like I said, man, Ted Matrix, I thank you for the request. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, man. I got so many stories that I can lace y'all with, man. All of this stuff can be verified.